5 minutes, please give me 5 minutes. The next thing we're going to be doing is using oil pastels. We're going to be having it a very color composition similar to the ones that are on the back, but we're going to have a little twist to what we're doing. We're going to be doing a band poster or a musician's poster. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a piece of tracing paper like this. We're going to think of 3 images that kind of represent how you feel about the band or how they make you feel, or, you know, and then we're going to take those images and we're going to trace them on here in a kind of a composition. Some of them might be larger, some of them might be smaller, and you're going to arrange them on here and trace them. So you're not actually looking at something and drawing it, you're going to be tracing that object. The images that you get can either be from the internet, you can print them off, or a magazine or a newspaper or something like that. How you arrange them is up to you. After you're done arranging them, you'll have your traced drawing here. You'll also print out the font that you like with the band name on it, and you'll trace that as well. So you got to find kind of an interesting font that would go good with your band poster. After that's all done, I'll give you some colorful oil pastels, and you'll put in the color. You'll fill in all of the color for the poster. So, all of that's here. I'm going to give you a handout that explains all of it. Let me show you some examples. This particular example, they've only used 2 objects. They used a light bulb and a skull. He arranged those one inside the other. Somebody else might have them separate, or the light bulb big, or the skull big, or whatever. That's however you compose that is up to you. The background I think could have been a little bit better. It's just black, but you can think about what is the background going to be. Some of the examples that are over there might be a great background, some of the shapes and stuff like that. So here's one example. Very interesting font. Here's another example. They took 3 objects. They had a monarch, a drum, an ant, arranged it in a certain way, used a nice font. For the background, they just had lines and some leaves. This isn't as colorful as ours will be, but you still get the idea. Here's another one, a little more abstract, a little bit more 70s feel, very vibrant colors. The background is just kind of the messaging. You guys won't have a lot of writing on yours probably. You'll have just the name of the band or the artist. But I like the repetition here, and I like the colors, and I really like how they filled the space. Here's another one. It's just shapes. This one's more just general shapes. You could do something like this. Here's one where they used for the background, they just had a bunch of different imagery, almost like a newspaper, old newspaper imagery. They used a large head. They had some interesting font. They put it within the head. Some lightning bolts coming out of the eyes. This is Primus. Here's another one. What I like here is the background is pretty nice. I like what they did with the colors with the person. What they don't have is 3 images. They only have 1. They only have the person. In ours, we would have 2 other images alongside that somewhere or in it. Another thing to keep in mind, you can modify these any way you want. For example, here's one. They might have done a big monster, and then inside the mouth, they might have thought of other objects and modified it and changed it. You could do whatever you want, really. There's no limit to how you do it. What I would stay away from is just like, okay, I have 3 images. Boom, boom, boom. All the same size, just kind of sitting there. Try to think about scale, size, and how those things relate to each other. The font, you're going to find the font that you think works best with your project or your band or whoever you're using. I did the example of Johnny Cash. It's somebody I might choose, so I was playing around with different fonts. I probably would use something like this. It doesn't mean that you have to trace it just how it is. You could cut these letters up and trace them in different parts, and just be original with how you arrange the composition. I thought of some imagery very quickly. Johnny Cash did a lot of his concerts inside Folsom Prison, so I was thinking a prison might be nice. He's outlaw country. I kind of like the hat imagery, the boots, an old jail cell. Then I thought maybe a picture of him where he's kind of sitting there, an old guitar. I thought his last name is Cash. Maybe I could use actual old Cash as one of the images. And I just started to think about imagery. You're going to take time, and I have a formative thing that you're going to be doing to help you think about different images as well. Thought maybe a mustache. I don't know why. There's no reason, but I might look with a mustache. So that's it in a nutshell. All of it's going to be done on this. When you have it all arranged and you have it all traced, you're going to just be coloring right on this actual piece of paper. Does anybody have any questions about what this project is? I have a formative handout I'm going to give to you. It explains exactly what I just told you here. It has an example on the bottom, and it has a little thing on the back that you can use to fill out, and this is to help you think of imagery, because I know it's hard to kind of just think of 3 objects. So this is some questions that you're going to answer that'll help you think of objects that you might use. Questions about this project so far? The next 2 days, today and tomorrow, you're just going to be brainstorming. Think of your the band you want to use or the artist. Think about your imagery. Answer this formative. Just start getting ideas. If you can start thinking of things you might want to use as images, maybe you can copy and paste them into Google Doc or something like that. Questions? Okay. Great. Sounds good. I'll print this out and hand it to you.